Hello, John Marshall, the DrillMaster, with another exhibition routine critique. This is Troy Black. I'm assuming that's the name of the high school. Navy J. ROTC Armed Platoon. All right, here we go. Okay. So while this is playing, I'll explain. Well, no, actually, I won't. So in regulation drill, so many cadets and even active guard reserve think this is the way to fall in. This is exhibition drill, so they can do what they want. Honestly, that's fine. This is not how you fall in. Not even close to how you fall in for regulation drill. Let me put it that way. For regulation drill, for exhibition drill, fine. But for regulation drill, you do not march off the steps from the commander. Yeah, but the manual says that you're supposed to be 3 steps. I know that 3 or 6. Depending on NCO officer or whatever. You don't march it off. You eyeball it. All right, you guesstimate. You're supposed to be, as the first squad leader, you are supposed to be quite knowledgeable. You have more responsibility than the rest of the team, but a little less responsibility than the commander of the formation. As the guide on, it's either the guide on bearer or guide, and in the first squad element leader. That's who that's who falls in and then establishes the 3-step distance, and then also the distance for the width of the formation. And this, I got to tell you, Troy Black armed exhibition for 2023, this is not the way to do it for exhibition drill. This means absolutely nothing to your audience. And this is, again, for anybody watching, this is not at a personal level, not at all, but this is so ineffective, it's not even funny. There is nothing here to draw anybody's attention. You are using a regulation drill type of standard to fall the team in. There is no opening statement. There's nothing exhibition about this at all. And this is your exhibition phase, yet you're using a pseudo regulation technique to do this, to form your formation. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. And then you get your precise alignment. I get it. This still means absolutely nothing. It so maybe, and I don't know where Troy Black is. Maybe the commander now has to march in and okay, and request permission to enter. Yeah, it looks like it. And then the report in will be later. So this might be out west. Not exactly sure. So that's fine. That happens for certain drill meets. You request permission to enter, but so. And again, for exhibition drill, you can hold the scabbard if you want to. It just doesn't look good. It doesn't communicate well at all. All of you commanders, and this is for every single service, every single JROTC that has an armed team, that has a commander that's armed with a sword or a saber. You're holding the scabbard. It looks silly. It really does. Sorry to break it to you. It looks silly. You don't need to wear the belt. You don't need to wear the scabbard. You don't need to do any of that. Now, if you want to look like the rest of the team and they have belts on, fine. You wear the belt, that's okay. But there's no reason to wear the frog or the scabbard. None at all. Because all you're doing is, in this case at least, holding the scabbard incorrectly. This is there. This is what the commander has. This is a replica, a Marine NCO sword. Just not. Now, okay, so it takes for. This is 2 minutes. 2 minutes of. So maybe I shouldn't be so harsh. Those first 2 minutes, the requesting the permission to enter thing. I did it when I was a cadet. Raised in Arizona, I did it all through my 4 years of high school. Arizona, California. I don't know if Texas does it. Don't know if New Mexico does either. I don't think Texas does. I'm trying to rack my brain. I'm pretty sure that it doesn't. So it's maybe a Southwest thing only. I'm not exactly sure. But it's just monotonous. It really is. Requesting permission to enter and then reporting in, reporting out. Why? And I could go on, and I don't want to. I really need to do justice to this critique. So, all right, we're going to forget the first 2 minutes, almost 2 minutes here. It just was. Up to this point, there was absolutely no point whatsoever in doing any of this. Honestly, and drill meets I'd love to see that request to enter thing just end. There's no reason for it. What do you mean request permission to enter? We're at a drill meet. They're supposed to enter. Why are we requesting permission? Why? It seemed logical to me when I was a cadet. Yeah, sure, you request permission to enter, and then you report in, and you report out, and okay, I get it. That's the standard. That's what we're doing. The standard doesn't make any sense with that request permission to enter thing. It just doesn't. All right, no more soapbox. So, rifle angles on that horizontal part. And so, and I get I get your switching directions here. Some marching backwards, some marching forwards. I do get that. I understand it. But the about face to begin that, just really it's not necessary. You could do such a better movement to turn that middle squad around. A much more exhibition movement rather than a regular about face. Try to think beyond regulation drill and not try to add exhibition movement to regulation drill or the regulation drill thought process. Love that it works great. That's really nice. So, need some more practice, it looks like. Nice tempo change and the step style change that worked really well. So, yeah, that is a Marine NCO sword worn on. That's not even the right frog. You're wearing it on an officer's sword belt, a Navy officer's sword belt. And that's unfortunate. That really is. So what this tells me is that it's purely for show. But once you get down into the intricacies of of at least what the commander's doing here, there's really a lack of knowledge. Why? Com- so, Commander, why did you face the platoon? And then spin. You manipulated your sword in the way that you could, but you're facing away from the audience. The audience can't see what you're doing. And so what we have here, a phasing issue. Phasing is movement that doesn't happen exactly at the same time. So really great technique all throughout here. Foot angles a little different, pointing down, pointing out, and probably the knee pointing out here instead of forward like this knee is. This looks like the knee's pointing forward, This is way too high. And then the lower leg angled inward. That's the problem with the chair step like this. Whether it's the angled chair step, with the lower portion of the leg angled inward, or if it looks, just like a chair with a 90-degree angle in the knee. But then we have a little bit of phasing right here. So in feet, everything matters. Absolutely everything matters. So this is really, it's a very basic entrance and a standard report in position. So just to let you know, this is not an authorized position. Exhibition drill, fine, got it. But for anybody watching this in regulation drill, this is not an authorized position. Not at all. The sword has to be facing or pointing towards the front. But so many see this, think, oh, it looks cool. Well, it does for regulation drill or exhibition drill, and that's fine. I thought so. California. And about face as well. See, this is the rifle work is quite good, rippled back and forth. So fairly good timing. There's a couple of slower members to the team. Why are you pausing? Oh boy. So the toss, the timing there just wasn't on at all. Nice rippled work going down. The kneel type of marching forward, the steps forward there, but you're quite far away from your audience and that could have more impact if it was closer. It doesn't have to be necessarily centered, but closer is good. So, yeah, I want to make a note. I'll create a video. because that reminds me of something. Oh, increasing the tempo, that works really well. I like that. And so it just not enough practice, it looks like. Well done on centering yourself there, Commander. But what's the point of what's the point of you? And so I keep saying this constantly. What's the point of having you standing in front of the platoon, facing away from the audience? Does this enhance the performance? Not at all. As a matter of fact, it detracts from the performance. You are an object in which people have to look around to see the team's performance. You can be at the side just because. So just because these three might be the squad leaders, that doesn't mean anything. You can be anywhere you want. You can stand over here and call commands. You can stand on the other side. This isn't regulation drill, and yet you are teaching, or you are treating certain aspects of the performance as if it's exhibition regulation. So you're facing each other. You're in a powerful stance, and nobody can see it. And Commander, why did you go to parade rest? It just doesn't. It's quite frustrating to watch. Everybody should be facing forward in that powerful stance. Commander, what are you doing? You're not part of the formation. You stomping forward like that isn't. You're the commander. You're not part of the formation. It doesn't work. You need to stand right there and then wait for your turn to. Hopefully, you're going to use the cordon here. Commander, march down, march back. Exchanges. That was an interesting take on the cordon with that halt and the slower time. Very interesting. That worked well. Now that was really quite good. Forming the cordon like that, or forming the long line like that, that was really good. That was an excellent thought process for design. The commander staying behind the long line, very good thought process. Honestly, that's great. The commander is not in the way. Everybody has a clear shot. So there are some problems here with technique. Maybe this was early in the season. So the movement, you're pointing straight at the audience, but so the movement of the rifle down like this, it's not easily seen. I had no idea. Just for a second, I had no idea what was going on. I was wondering why everybody is just paused there with the rifle pointed straight forward, had could not see the movement. So the eye always goes towards movement. If the whole team is standing completely still and one of the team members moves, everybody's eye goes to that team member wherever you're looking. There was no indication that this was happening, and it was a bit. So the I'm trying to think. The Army drill team will do the pitch out and then the slow drop, and if you see it from the end, it looks like a big fan. That is definite movement that you can see, because the rifle is up. It's not part of the arm as the rifle is here. See, if you look here, this is what you're seeing, or you're seeing it a bit from the side, but my arm takes up most of the visual there, and then lowering it so slowly, really there's no indication that anything's happening. People are looking, and they tend to look in the center all the time. I was wondering what was going on, and then as I moved my eyes to the right, I saw, oh, okay, now we have something. But it was maybe 3 or 4 members in that the rifle starts, or that I noticed that the rifles were moving down. So the Army's pitch out, and then with the lowering of the fan, it's a quick move into a slow move, and you can see that stick out. That's the whole intention of that. Some nice A-B work there. And coming back, that's great. Into solid A single work there. Nice quick arm movements. That was a great powerful push towards the audience. That was really well done. So inverted wedge. Should have. So this is taking way too long. Way too long to set up. And nobody could see that either, except that there was some kind of rifle thrown, and then and the accuracy of that toss was. Now that's better, much better. So I'm wondering why you have 2 in line with the commander rather than having both be the so I don't know why the commander's hiding 2 people behind him. I don't get that at all, honestly. So when you could have those commander here, and then 2, you could have those right there, and then the rest of the inverted wedge there, commander in the middle. This is very powerful. It works really well, except those 2 at the back, that just seems a bit strange there. But this is a great report out position, although I would visually layer it instead of having everybody doing the same thing. And then you can see there's slight variation of technique. What are you doing? See, judges, that's also frustrating. Judge, you don't have to march out and formally take so many steps away and formally take the report in and the report out, and you're judging. Stay back and just say, carry on. Return the salute, but stop marching up without your clipboard, without your score sheet. Stop marching away from the performance. You're missing it. Why are you calling cadence? And then why do you start marking time, Commander? There's no reason to. No reason whatsoever. Look at that alignment. It's poor. Right there. Look at this alignment. Why are you all looking towards the commander if you're not going to align? So the setup of the inverted wedge took way too long. If you're not aligned straight across, it doesn't matter. What you need to do is make sure that your alignment is in that wedge shape. You should be able to see out of the corner of your eye that along that line. And you should know where you, depending on what position you are, if you're the end, you're the end. But if and you can't see anybody, but if you're at any place else, then you'll be able to see people in front and to the left or to the right. So you're moving out, and you're stomping. So that's not mark time, okay? That's stomp time. Now maybe you intended to do that, which for exhibition drill. All right, we'll let that go. But how is the performance enhanced by that? Stomp, 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 stomp. Coming up into the block formation, you're in the block formation. You're at port arms. Stomp, 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 stomp. How is that going to enhance the performance? Nicely done. Oh, that was interesting. That worked well. That was great. All right. So, and you're finished there. That was a frustrating 27 and a half minutes for me. And it's still going on. I'm going to quit in just a second. Judge, holy cow. Way to not watch all of the performance. But team, you've got some design issues going on, and one of them I've never explained before, but I will do that. Side 1 and 2, light and heavy, light and dark. It's all very relevant to the design process. So I will get to that. I'm writing a book right now. I'll sketch out a video. An outline for a video to explain the design process and the considerations that you need to give for a performance. But I'll use this as and a couple others actually that I've done so far in this shirt, my Arizona Diamondbacks shirt. I'll use these as reference points so that people can watch and understand how you can, by the time you finish my briefing, you'll be able to spot the problems. At least that's my goal, you being able to spot the problems. So anyway, thank you for watching, and thank you for putting up with my frustration here.